Hello, everybody. There's a bit of a trigger warning here. This particular one has a really uncouth joke, a not very classy joke. So if you are offended by jokes about historical events and figures, then you might want to go ahead and click off. Anyways, meet Bret Michaels' private page. I said, "Oh my God, hi, you told me to message you here." He says, "Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for your likes and comments. I have been seeing your comment on my post daily." I said, "Yeah, sure you have," because I don't comment on Bret Michaels stuff, like, at all. He says, "So how are you doing today?" I said, "My cat decided to instill the purred Reich today." He completely ignores that and says, "Are you my fan?" And I didn't get immediately back to him. And he's, "Are you there?" I said, "You're acting like you expect an instant answer." He says, "Please don't sound rude on me." I said, "How is that rude? It's rude of you to expect an immediate answer out of people who may have jobs when it's afternoon. Typical Bret Michaels, shitting on the peons and commoners. You still haven't stopped doing that?" And just FYI, I shit on Bret Michaels a lot. He is probably a very lovely man in real life. I don't know. I only know him from Poison and Rock of Love, unfortunately. But yeah, no offense, Bret Michaels. I'm just trying to get a rise out of these guys. He says, "It's fine. How are you doing?" I said, "I guess fairly well, considering I have to fight my cat's friends off. This purred Reich is pretty serious. He says he will stuff me in the stove if I don't feed him albacore tuna. Like, come on, Kittler. Nobody can afford albacore in this economy." Shockingly, the man is actually reading, and he says, "Lol, emoji, sounds funny." I said, "It's not funny. The cat's an asshole." He says, "So how long have you been my fan?" And then to my cat's an asshole, he says, "Okay." And then I said, "I don't know, maybe 45 years. Immediately catching on because he's reading, he says, "Really?" I said, "Roughly." He says, "How?" "Oops," I respond. "That should say 4 to 5 years. I'm not that damn old." He says, "All right, do you have a passion for music?" I said, "A passion for music, eh?" He says, "You don't like music?" I said, "I don't mind it, but I was forced to sing as a teenager because I was really good," in which I actually was back in the day. I come from a very musically inclined family. Think Americana backwoods bluegrass. That was us, like the Carter family. He says, "That's nice. Man, can I see your picture?" I think he meant to say ma'am. And then I said, "No, you can't, man. I don't know you." And then he says, "I'm Bret Michael from Pennsylvania, a celebrity." I said, "So? I still don't know you." He says, "Bye," because his little, "I'm a celebrity, you must do what I say and worship the ground I walk on" thing wasn't going to work. I said, "We've never met. We've spoken for 5 minutes. I don't care if you're the Pope, I don't know you." Train in the background. "You are taking this conversation as a joke." Stupid train. I said, "Why? Because I won't send you a picture?" And then I said, "That's typical Bret. Bret doesn't get what he wants and throws his toys out of the pram and gets mad. You haven't changed at all. No wonder everybody hates you. I tried to give you a chance, but whatever." He says, "No one hates me, okay? Where are you from?" I said, "Narcissism at its finest. Saturn Valley in Eagle Land." He says, "All right, I will like to meet you." I said, "Lol, right. You just want to try and get laid after what you just did? You don't think the entire country knows of your escapades? You did 3 seasons of Rock of Love. No offense, Bret, but it's time to settle down. You're in your 60s. Stop being a man-ho." He ignores that and says, "Would you like to come to my concert?" I said, "Maybe someday, as long as you don't sing 'Every thorn has its rose.' I hate that one." And yes, I purposely said that like that. And he unsent something and said, "All right." Now, to be completely honest, I don't hate "Every rose has its thorn," but I certainly don't think that's their best one. If you really care to know what I think their best ones are, it's "Fallen Angel," "Ride the Wind," and "Something to Believe in." But I digress. I have a couple more, or at least one more. So Meet Facebook user, formerly known as Bret Michaels. And this is the guy that leads into my big, long, boring Zangi one, which I will get up in the next couple of days. I'm going to be out of town until Sunday. So I say, "Oh my God, Bret?" He says, "Hey, Rebecca." Pretend that's not my name. I said, "This isn't Bret. It's a Stan page." "Yes." He says, "How was your day going so far?" I said, "Peachy." He says, "Nice meeting you. Thanks for supporting my dream. And Carrier, may God Almighty continue to bless you always." I said, "Are you really telling me that you're Bret Michaels?" He says, "Yes, I am. That's why I got this fans page for my fan." "Where are you from?" Once again, Saturn Valley in Eagleland. He says, "How old are you?" And then I had said, "I'm afraid I may need some proof. I can't just take people's word for it these days." And then I totally lied and said 34. So he sent me that horrible California ID that I posted and says, "That will be the proof I'll be giving you, Rebecca. Keep it safe and make sure you're not showing anyone, okay?" "I promise I won't show anybody, sir." And then I was looking closely at it, and it said it's a Class C, and I assume it's the same in California, but that means you can drive semi-trucks. I said, "Since when do you drive semi-trucks?" He says, "Long time." So there you have it, guys. Bret Michaels has been driving semi-trucks for a long time. He says, "Thanks for being my great fan so far, and may God continue to bless you and protect you." I said, "He sure will." "Have you been to any of my concert?" I said, "No." "How long have you been my fan?" "I don't know, maybe since I was 4, which is not a lie at all." "I don't have the full access to this account. I have my media team. I just check once in a while. It's your lucky day." Oh boy. I said, Sure. He says, "I think it's heaven wish I talked to you, and this is so hard to read. And you know all my life has been on the road." And I said, "Do what?" He says, "I must say that I have enormous respect for you, considering the manner in which I have made contact with you. I am very glad you are a fan of mine. May God continue to bless you some more." I assume somebody else in the group took over at this point and wasn't reading. I said, "Is your diabetes flaring up? Because that's just a weird thing to say." And then he hits up ChatGPT or something. "I was often in and out of the hospital as a child and had to have insulin injections multiple times a day. After the MSG incident, I came forward with my diagnosis to clear the air. As many speculated at the time, I had been addicted to drugs." And then he says, "I would love to have you a free ticket whenever I'm in your home zone. It's nice having fun with my fans before and after my concert." And then to his response, his comment about the hospital thing, I said, "I was in the hospital once, got a zucchini stuck in my butt. I swear I was painting the ceiling naked so I didn't get paint all over my clothes, and I fell off right onto the zucchini. I was in for about 3 days, had to have a robotic pull because it was way up there, and stitches." And I said, "At least they gave me morphine," which, if anybody has ever worked in the emergency room, you hear that story a lot. He says, "Sorry, dear," just completely not even paying attention to the words I just said. And then he says, "Yes, it's really me. I'm having random check on my fan page, and I came across yours. Thanks for being a fan. Love you." And then to that, I said, "Your diabetes must be affecting your brain. You pretty much just said that already. Go drink some orange juice, Bret. I'm worried." He says, "It's fine." And then he says, "Secondly, Facebook do not allow any other person to create a duplicate of my page. It's on their violation law, okay. But since there are a lot of hackers claiming to be me, and now Facebook is working hard to get things done and make my page more secure." And then I responded to that, "Okay, why did you say that when you've already sent your Class C license? I bet you hop in that semi and ride the wind like you're never coming back again." Which is reference to the song Ride the Wind. He says, "Thanks for the compliments. It's not as easy as the world think it is. Die-hard fans like you are the reason why we keep moving." And then I said, here's to withered eyes and wearing gypsy smiles, and the day he listens. Here's to lovely ladies in a million miles, and the night she whispers. He says, what do you do for a living there? I said, orthopedic surgeon. I love boners. And then I quickly corrected myself, quote, corrected myself. Bones. Whoops, Freudian slip. He says, do you really love your job? I said, yeah, I didn't spend 6 years in school, 4 years in residency, and then another 4 learning a specialty, along with paying $600,000 to hate it. Even if I did hate it, who cares? The money's good. I'm making $500,000 a year. He says, how much are your bills? I said, what a strange question. I just pay them. Everything is automatically withdrawn. I haven't looked at a bill in years, XD. He says, oh, okay, what is your monthly income? I said, probably about $40,000 to $50,000. Why? He said, oh, okay, just want to know. Are you married and blessed with kids? I said, I can pay my bills. I can pay my telephone bills. I can pay my automobiles. If you did, then maybe we could chill, which is a Destiny's Child song. And I said, nah, too busy for that, about kids. And then he said, are you married and blessed with kids? I said, I just answered that because you literally just asked it. Bret, go see your doctor. Your diabetes is messing you up, man. He says, how long have you been single? I said, what a stupid question. Obviously my entire life. I'm not from some backwards-ass country that allows child marriage. And then I said, maybe listen to this. Now, if you've not heard this song, you should go listen to it. And then I told him, something is wrong with you. He says, what is the craziest thing you've ever done been single? I said, what? That makes little to no sense, but I think I understand what you're trying to ask. He says, what do you miss doing been single? I said, what? That makes even less sense. He says, smile. I said, he says, how long have you been listening to my music, and why do you support my dream? Do you live alone or with family? I said, I put my hands up in the club. We just broke up. I was doing my own little thing. I decided to dip, and now he won a trip because another brother noticed me. If he liked it, then he should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad because you see that he won it. That's the craziest thing I've ever done while single. Not reading, he says, good to hear. Do you own a car or a house? I said, obviously, yes. You have weird questions. He says, yes, dear, D-E-E-R. I need to ask just to know your. And he cut that off. What do you do for fun? And then I responded to that. All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. I like watching the puddles gather rain. And all I can do is just pour some tea for two and speak my point of view, but it's not sane. I just want someone to say to me, I'll always be there when you wake. You know, I like to keep my cheeks dry today, so stay with me and I'll have it made, which is No Rain by Blind Melon. He says, tell me about your parent and past relationship. And then I sent a deer emoji because he kept saying deer, D-E-E-R. I don't really chat much on here, says he. Did you have another platform where we can chat more better than here? And then on the parent and past relationship, I said, I was with this neurosurgeon. Y'all know where I'm going. And we went on a trip to Aruba, Jamaica, Bermuda, Bahama, Key Largo, Montego. Jamaica is off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where we wanted to go to get away from it all. Our bodies in the sand, tropical drink melting in our hands. We were falling in love to the rhythm of a steel drum band down in Kokomo. We put out to sea and we perfected our chemistry. By and by we defied a little bit of gravity. Afternoon delight, winky face, cocktails and moonlit nights. That dreamy look in our eyes gave me a tropical contact high way down in Kokomo. Then there was Port-au-Prince. I wanted to catch a glimpse. Sad face. I didn't. He says, good to hear that though. And then I said, everybody knows a little place like Kokomo. Now if you want to go to get away from it all, go down to Kokomo or Aruba, Jamaica, Bermuda, Bahama, Key Largo, Montego. He said, huh? So I guess at this point he decided to take a glimpse. I don't really chat much on here. Let's chat more better on WhatsApp. I said, nope, don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. Have Zangi, that's it, and no, I won't download anything esse. He says, are you an iOS user or Android? I said, Android, why does it matter? He gives me his Zangi number, so if any of you have Zangi and like to mess around, there you go. Text me on Zangi. I said, I did. He says, gotcha. And then I guess he forgot that we were texting on Zangi. And he says, "Good morning, dear." I said, "Yo." He sent an angel halo emoji. So I sent a bionic leg. And then he sent a heart. And I said, "Okay." So that one is the one that leads into Bret Michaels on Zangi, which is bloody boring, but I will post it because boring shows what they often try to do. But just an FYI, I don't know what this guy's scam was going to be. Like, he was really in it for the long haul. And the only reason he has me questioning whether it was a romance scam or not is that he didn't fight for my affections when I told him that I was dating a cardiologist, Ron Paul. And he didn't fight for me at all. He was just like, "Oh, okay, did you tell people about us?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're a scammer." But I will try to get that up next week sometimes because I am going to be hanging out with my sons up at their place this weekend. So I'll be back Sunday afternoon. So anyways, thank you for watching.